Start.
Good day everyone, this is 𝓵𝓫 𝓵𝓎𝓎, an international coach and trainer and a best-selling author, and we have with here Dr. 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵𝓸, the principal of New Activity School and the trustee of 𝓫𝓻𝓎 Education Trust. So today's show is called Recharge Your Life in 15 Minutes, and since today is Women's Day, Happy Women's Day ma'am, and I would love to ask from you, in your life, which are the women that inspired you the most?
Well, Natasha, surprisingly, I have always admired Rani Laxmi of Jhansi, because I thought for a lady and a widow and a childless lady who had adopted a child to be a warrior and to take up the mighty British was something of great courage, and I really appreciate her. I also appreciate my late mother, Mrs. 𝓗𝓮𝓵𝓵𝓸, who had started the 3 activity schools and the 𝓫𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓷𝓮 Education Trust, and my late sister 𝓫𝓻𝓿𝓎, who was a principal of this school and an educationist for over 40 years. These are the women whom I really admire.
Thank you so much. And what do you think, since you're a career woman, as a woman over the years, what are the challenges you face being a career woman? As you know, all of women have to multitask, housework plus the school work, and a lot of things a woman handles. So how did you do that over the years?
I think women have natural shakti in them. Natural, the goddess shakti. They are able to do more than 2 things at the same time. When we come to school, before that we've already finished the household work, we've already given instructions to the maids, we've already made a note of what we need to buy on our way home, we've already seen that our children's bags are packed and tiffins are ready. So it just needs us to be a little organized, and trial and error makes you learn so much. And then of course a woman is born with 5-6 hands. She just does so much in one go.
Thank you so much. And over the years, as you know, being a woman, a lot of people in workplaces, schools, colleges, women face sexual harassment. So what is your say on that?
Oh, I've never faced it, because education is a lady-oriented job. I've never faced sexual harassment. All my bosses or colleagues have mostly been women, mostly. And the men who were my colleagues have always been very kind and compassionate, so I've never faced it.
What do you think, how do people select a good school in India?
Well, first of all, you have to see your budget. Then you have to see the locality and how close it is to your home. Then you have to ask your friends about how good the school is, and then make an informed choice. Also, look at the website of the school and check out the small details. Is there a school bus? Do they have PT? Do they have extracurricular activities? All this goes into choosing the right school, not just the economic factor.
Okay, thank you so much. And what do you think about the weaker sections of the society, economically weaker, who cannot afford proper school education?
Well, then they have to go to granted schools or aided schools, and there the fees are very minimal. Of course, they are not as good as non-aided schools, but don't worry, don't forget that Ambedkar went to a very ordinary school and he wrote our constitution. So ultimately it depends on the student and how hard working the student is and how conscientious he is. And of course, good teachers are everywhere.
Okay, and also I feel Abdul Kalam, he also didn't go to a very elite school, but what I'm trying to say in this, agreed, school is important, basic education is important, but I think the qualities of will, determination, being disciplined is very important. As I think we saw this movie called 12th Fail, where he didn't have all the facilities, but it was his determination, his fire to do something successful. So as a teacher, I'm sure you deal with so many students, but they all have the good education, but one student does well, one student doesn't. Also it depends, education, but also on the student.
And the inner fire.
Yeah,
the inner fire, the desire to learn, the desire to better your performance from the last time. That is very important.
Yeah, and also I guess every student is unique, right? Some person might be good in math, some person might be English. And now thanks to the teachers that, they make students aware of what do they want, because there are so many facilities now. And I remember 20-30 years back, a lot of facilities were not available
Not
in
at all,
India.
not at all. And just look, nowadays girls are not only driving cars with ease and bikes and scooters, but they're driving planes, fighter planes. They're joining the Army, Navy, Air Force. They are heading big companies as CEOs. So we are seeing a very great change in my lifetime itself. Nowadays, women are traveling solo, which wasn't possible 20-30 years ago. Earlier, only grandparents, that too a widowed grandmother or a widowed mother, would travel to meet her children abroad alone. But today, young girls go abroad, they hitchhike, they travel, they make their whole itinerary on their own. So really the world has opened up and there is more and more equality within the sexes.
Yeah, because there's always gender disparity in every field we go, but I think women are now excelling in every field.
Oh, yes.
And you have been seeing over the years how things have changed, and now a lot of things have changed for women, so that's really good. And what do you think about career clarity among students? Like, how do you know what would they like, since
it's very easy. Whatever the child excels in, whatever the child is good at, whatever he finds easy, he should choose a career with that subject. For example, if science is not his forte, why should he want to be a doctor or an engineer? He can be a lawyer, he can be a person who does mass media, and he can go into the crafts, he can be an architect, he can be a accountant, many things. But why stick to only science? There are so many careers today that don't need science degree and where you can excel yourself. You can be a writer, you can go into the media, you can make videos and upload them and make a lot of money. So really the world is opening up for young children, and so emphasis on just studies and marks is not there.
Yeah, I think that's such a nice way of putting across. I guess teachers are teachers because they articulate things in such a nice way, and that's very important for students, because I have seen, I've read papers like if a child doesn't do well, some of the, of course not economically well-off schools, but I've seen these teachers just hit the child and it's come in papers and it's so painful. So I think teacher, the way you deal with children also is very important. So
corporal punishment is not allowed.
Yes.
And should not be. If you're very angry with the child, take a ruler and hit the table.
I think that is so true, because why I'm saying this, that as a child they are very innocent and very naive.
Yes.
So, and as it is, there's so much negativity in the outside world. We dealt with so many things. So if you do these things, that fear remains as a child. So as the child grow up, we think the child has overcome that fear, but he's not, because all of us have two minds, conscious and subconscious, and that fear remains. And maybe the child wanted to become a public speaker or a dancer, but because that fear of being hit by someone or negativity can actually crush the career. That is my viewpoints. What do you
there's
think?
too much stress.
Yes.
Parents insist on why the child got half a mark here less and 1 mark here less. It should not bother them at all. In fact, insisting on very high grades causes lot of stress to the child, and the child has no place to release his stress. All buildings have very small compounds and they are filled with cars and bikes. Where does the child play? There are hardly any playgrounds anywhere. Parents cannot afford clubs, so they give a video game to the child. And then the child is playing a video game which is fully aggressive. He has to kill someone or make a hit to get a point. And again, that adds to his stress and aggression. And it's just a big cycle. And therefore, instead of just insisting on too many marks, the parents should go with the child out, even just a walk round the compound. Go on the terrace, grow few plants in the house, teach the child simple things like meditate, do gratitude, deep breathing. All that will decrease the stress, and the child will automatically perform better.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is a very valid point which we take things for granted. We look at the academics that, oh, this child is 70 or 80 or this child is 30 or 40, and we are so engrossed in the rat race. Now, just because a father is an engineer and the son wants to become a doctor, but why? It's the son's choice. Give your children choices, parents, because not necessarily what the father likes, the son will like. And I've seen this, over the years, that just because parents have not become something, their desire, they will fold on the child, and no, arey main nahi engineer bana, so you have to become. But I know, because even I'm a trainer, and they're like, ma'am, we don't want to become, because I give workshops on self-development. What is your passion? What do you really want from life? So don't you think this is a valid point?
Yes,
We should
definitely.
let the child grow and know what is their passion. Maybe initially it's different, but over the years, I think this is very, very important.
Oh yes, by the time the child is in the 9th or 10th, he already knows what is his passion, which subjects he is good in, how he can excel. He already has a very broad base on what he can do, and then we can always go for career counseling.
Yes,
very easy to pinpoint then the right career.
Yes, so this is a very, very valid point, because we think just because a child has got 80 in maths, he's the best. Not necessarily. He might choose a career which is accountant or CA, but another person might be very good in art, in science. So that person will excel in that field. So thank you so much. This was a very valid point. And what you this is a very, very important question, which I feel, how do you deal with difficult parents?
First of all, we explain. If the parent does not listen, then we give educational jargon to the parent. If the parent still does not listen, we try and enforce it. But if they still don't listen, we tell them it is your choice and your decision alone. This is what I will suggest. If you still will not do it, it's up to you. 95% of the parents will agree that the educationists will have a better point of view than theirs, and 95 will agree. Those 5% that don't agree are not going to agree anyway. So you just let it be. Ultimately, it is their child and their decision. But mostly they do listen.
Okay, yeah, because they say that parents play a very important factor with the child, and they can really brainwash the child into a lot of things what they want. But as we all know, everyone's viewpoint is different. So we should, very important, counsel parents before we counsel the child. That's I feel,
Yes.
So, and last but not the least question, stress, as we mentioned, is a very, very important factor. There's this quote by Robin Sharma, that stress is a plague in the city and tranquility is the new luxury. So what suggestions would you give for stress, for students?
For children, very simple. Gratitude. If they are grateful for the little that they have, they're grateful for the fact that they are good at art, they're good at craft, they are good at football. Maybe academics is not good. So with the gratitude and then determination, self-will, if they sit and they study the subject they are poor at, 10 minutes only every day, but poor at maths, do 2 sums every day, but do those 2 sums. So walk baby steps but consistently. Stress will decrease, because by the time the exam has come, you've done 2 sums every day. You know all the sums. You may have got them wrong, but you now know how to do them. So that mathematics stress has gone much lower. Do deep breathing from the stomach. Just 5 breaths before you sit for an exam, before you sit to study. Keep a clear desk. Don't fill it with all the books you have to study for the day. You're doing mathematics, only keep the mathematics books and your calculator and pen, pencil and rough paper. Put it away. When you're doing geography, take out your math book, your colors and the geography book. So the child learns to declutter the mind by physically decluttering his study place. Also, we teach the child to be very clear, be very practical. Today I cannot do 5 subjects, but I can do 2 subjects. So choose the 2 subjects you are weakest in and do them. Even if it is not completed, you have done it, you made an effort. Tomorrow, complete them, put them away. Now take the subject you like. After that, take the subject that is next that you don't like. And if you keep alternating every day, the child will find that in a week he's finished all his subjects.
Awesome.
And it hasn't been as stressful as he thought it would be.
Yeah. So I guess time management,
and
self
up into small pieces. all
Okay.
the jobs into small pieces. And be very realistic. I can only study 3 chapters today, study those 3. But don't get up till you study those 3. Then don't say, I want a snack, I want to have me time, I want to look out of the window. You have said 3 chapters, finish those 3 chapters. Then get up and spend whatever time you want with your own luxury. Come back again and then maybe do one more. So if you're practical, you'll manage to finish the work very quickly.
Yes, thank you so much. These were awesome practical tips, and the qualities like self-discipline, time management, with the teacher keeps saying, as we all know, there's so much in our plate, but doing everything at the one time will in fact give you more stress.
Yes.
So I think baby steps daily, doing gratitude, very, very important. Have gratitude for what we have, because not many children can afford best of schools and
Yes.
best.
But
Not
at least
many
they're
children-
going to school.
Yeah, at
they're
least-
going to a school.
Yeah, so not many children even don't have parents. As a child, I know that I didn't have parents my mom had died, so I had a single parent. So that stress, which I didn't even know that time was stress, but today when I look back, and the woman I am today is because of working on myself daily, and it's not easy. We have to be realistic, but when we work on our emotions daily, it does help a lot. And thank you so much for giving your precious time. And one more tip I would like to add, since I'm a mental wellness coach, that as ma'am said, deep breathing is very important, and also journaling, where the students can write down in a piece of paper all their negative thoughts, and they'll feel better. And for more tips, please see my YouTube channel, where I have lots of self-development tips. And thank you so much. And very important is put your insights into action.
Sure.
As if it's just a talk show, it's not going to help you. I want to see on the comments before, whatever the principal has said, what action steps have you taken, and would love to see how it has helped and transform your life, as the best conversations happen in Natasha Advani YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
God bless you. God bless you.